Hello YouTube, Matthew Williams here, just bringing you a video regarding websites which pertain to be charity websites and websites which pertain to be petition websites. Now, these can look quite innocent at first, but when you actually go into them a little bit further, you find out that maybe these petition sites aren't necessarily centered directly around the need to petition the particular things they're saying they want to petition, and they might be more geared towards getting your name, address and what types of things you're interested in, and that information can then be sold. And these companies, and they are companies, sometimes they're not charitable organizations that run them, actually make it quite clear in their privacy statements that they will pass on your details to companies that they feel are suitable, which means companies that pay them. That's suitability, isn't it? You know, you're very suitable, you've just paid me a lot of money, I'll give you my email address list. So one has to be a bit careful with these sign-up sites, because if you wonder why you start getting junk email when you've actually signed up to a load of petition sites, you should be asking yourself the question, did they give your email address to people you didn't want them to? Now, the only way you can tell whether or not they're doing this, and they might not even tell you they're doing it, they're supposed to, by law, actually tell you that they're going to do it. But you can just imagine that a lot of these sites aren't actually going to admit to that, because then you're not going to want to bother. Hang on. Oh, sorry, just dropped my pen. Pen. Anyway, so one site that I found out actually is doing this, and you may not want to bother with again, is care2.com or care2.org. That's care and then a number 2. And I actually wrote to them and said, it states in your privacy statement that you will be giving away my address details to companies of your choice. And they actually copied me back in by mistake into the internal email they sent around their office, and basically said, what shall we do with this guy? Shall we just delete him off our list? And they never replied to me as to, yes, we do actually give your details away, but I was privy to the fact that they were discussing, oh look, you know, this guy's sort of asking the question, what are we doing with their emails? What should we do with him? And obviously what they decided to do was ignore me, because if they weren't giving the emails away without your permission, they would surely be very quick to say, no, really, we don't do that. That's not something we do. Mr. Williams, we state categorically we don't do that. But silence speaks volumes, and their privacy statement actually states that they will give your details away. So I think caught bang to rights there. Another one which came up, somebody sent me an email, which is like a round-robin email, and they said, hey, you know, save the forests, sign up the petition, it's great, you know, do it. 38degrees.org, I think it is. I haven't got them in front of me at the moment. I'll be able to work it out. 38degrees.org.uk. And this, when you click on it, I'll just go to it now so I can actually make sure I'm giving you the correct information, but when you click on it, it says it's a limited company, and this is quite interesting because a limited company are actually sort of making profit. They're not down as a not-for-profit company, they're down as a profit company. So they're saying, we're a profit-making company, but we want you to sign up for the petition so that we can protest a thing. And you can donate to us if you wish as well. So you can donate to a profit-making company. So that's going to go to pay the wages of the people running that site, and not into the projects that basically people are saying sign up to help this particular thing. So you're signing up to save the forests, and they're getting money which is paying them a wage, not the forests. Nobody from the saving the forests are getting the money. The people who run the company are getting the money. So that's another one you want to watch out for. And they're a private limited company, and again, if you look at their privacy statement, they state exactly the same thing, that they will use your email details and that they will keep these and send them on to companies that they deem suitable. So, you know, you've got to be very careful with what you sign up for these days, because it's all going to end up coming straight back at you as junk email. Now, lastly, Apple rant. You know I love my Apple rants. Oh, this is good, isn't it? I mean, we all know that now the iPhone 4 came out in with its little sock, yes? They needed to have a sock to put on this device in order to get it to work, because it was actually manufactured wrong. Now, normally when things are manufactured wrong with Apple, and they can get away with hiding it, they normally do. They hide the fact that things are wrong. And we all know about the USB ports on the MacBook, don't we? Or do we? Because Apple don't like to talk about it, but in fact, if you've got a MacBook, you may have had a lot of problems with getting devices to connect via your USB, but Apple don't really want to talk about that one. But anyway, get back to the point. The iPhone 4 GS bloody super duper Porsche phone, yes? The super duper expensive one that everybody just couldn't wait to run out and go and get, like they always do, was completely and utterly fucked and wouldn't receive a signal. So they brought a little device out which they had to give away, and God, that must have pained Apple to have to give something away. Oh my God, Apple! You had to give something away to make your device work. Wow. Well, anyway, you put this thing on, then the phone can receive a signal, which it wasn't able to do so before. But then, in talking about the fact that there was the design flaw, Apple were forced to admit that there was actually a problem with the software on the iPhones. And that's not just the iPhone 4, this is iPhones, full stop. Problem with the software, in so much as it would tell you had 4 bars. But on anybody else's phone, that would read as 1 to 2 bars. But on an iPhone, it was artificially pushed up to make it look like you were getting a really good signal. But you weren't getting a really good signal. And this answers the question, which has always been going on with Apple users. Why has my phone call dropped when I've got 4 bars? Why has my call dropped? I have got 4 bars, and it keeps on dropping. Well, the reason was because Apple fucked up and didn't get the software right. So for all you Apple users for all these years who've been wondering why, with a good quality signal, 4 bars, that your calls keep dropping and keep chopping out, that's the reason why. Because Apple artificially, by mistake, honestly, just a mistake, nothing to make you think that we've actually given you a really high quality, good receiving phone, when you actually haven't got one, and you've got a fucking humdinger which doesn't receive very well, which everybody knows iPhones don't receive very well, yeah? They don't receive well out in the countryside, that's for certain. If you're in the middle of a town with a transmitter on top of that fucking building right next to you, yes, they receive. But Apple admitted that they'd actually pushed their bar up so that it was artificially presenting that you had a good signal when you didn't. Nice one, Apple. One admission of 100 probably that they don't talk about with their devices, because nothing goes wrong with an Apple. As we know, nothing ever goes wrong with Apple. Apple are perfect. Nothing ever goes wrong with an Apple until you buy one. So there's my little Apple rant for today, and yeah, just be careful what you sign up to with these sites. So thanks very much.